Hi, the objective of this video is to show you how you can use your calculator to evaluate trig functions. So I've pulled up the graphing calculator, and let's just take a look at a few things before we actually start going through with some problems. I want you to press the mode key on your calculator, and notice on row 3 there's something called radian and degree. So you can set the equation to accept either radians or degrees. Notice that most of our problems involve degrees, so I would need to change my mode to accept degrees, and then we'll change it back when it's appropriate. So now this means that if I apply any of the trig functions, my input value is understood to be degrees. Now, notice that on the main keys of the calculator we have sine, cosine, and tangent. Above those is sine inverse, cosine inverse, and tan inverse. We're not ready to apply those yet. Sine inverse does not mean 1 over sine. Okay, don't think of that as a negative 1 power that means to move that expression down to the denominator. That's not what it means. So if you wanted to find, for instance, cosecant, you would have to manually know that's 1 divided by sine of the angle. So let's find sine of 13 degrees. So I would just simply press the function sine and input 13. Now since I changed the mode to be in degrees, it's understood that that 13 is a degrees. So I find that the sine of 13 is 0.22495. And you can round, let's say 225. Now what about cosine of 56 degrees? So I do cosine 56 and then enter. So that's approximately 0.559. Tangent of 20 degrees. Again, I'm still in the degree mode, so that's fine. Tangent of 20 degrees is 0.364. Now what about cotangent of 70 degrees? Okay, cotangent is going to be 1 over tangent of 70 degrees. So I'm going to have to enter that as 1 divided by tangent of 70 degrees. And that is 0.364. Now, what in the world is this if I have secant of 32 degrees, 15 minutes, 26 seconds? So I've got to convert these to a degree in terms of a decimal format because I don't have a way to enter the minutes and seconds. So it's kind of like the minutes and seconds on a clock. It takes 60 minutes to equal 1 degree. So this is really the same thing as secant of 32. So to convert the 15 minutes to degrees, I'm going to have to divide by 60. And then the seconds, there are 3,600 seconds in a degree, so I'm going to have to divide the 26 by 3,600. Now, in addition to that, I've got to think about secant. How could I enter secant on the calculator? Secant is a reciprocal of cosine. So I'd have to do 1 divided by cosine of 32 plus 15 over 60 plus 26 divided by 3,600. Okay, so I get my answer to be 1.183. Now, notice the last two are in terms of radians, right? I don't have a degree symbol, so that's understood to be radians. So to enter those, I'm going to need to go back to my mode, convert from degrees to radian mode, and press enter. And now let me clear back to the screen. Now I want to enter tangent of pi over 6. Well, remember what's pi over 6. I mean, you could convert the radians to degrees, but you don't have to do that. If I wanted to do tangent of pi over 6, I can do second and the caret symbol to get my pi over 6. Okay, or that's the same thing as what? Tangent of 30 degrees. So that is 0.577. And now the cosine of 3.4 is going to be a negative 0.967. Okay, so it's pretty easy to use the calculator. You just have to be mindful of what mode the calculator is in, and you also have to know those reciprocal identities so that you know how to enter cosecant, secant, and cotangent.